I got my ticket for the long way round. 2 bottles of whiskey for the way. And I sure would.
I'm distracted by my cleavage. Can I say that? Is that weird? Hi, I'm Anna Kendrick, and I'm about to watch some scenes from my career. Let's torture ourselves.
How do you know Scott?
He's a friend.
It's hard for me to keep track sometimes because he has so many friends.
I forgot how passive-aggressive and awful Stacy is. It's awesome. Brian Lee O'Malley, who did the graphic novel, it's based on his real sister, Stacy. I love that she's just a little shit stirrer. What an angel. I'll be honest, when I read this script, I was like, I don't totally get this, but I love Shaun of the Dead, I love Hot Fuzz, and I just wanted to work with Edgar Wright. But I do remember like this on paper being like, I don't know how this is gonna work, but I'm just gonna trust that he sees it, which he did. It's so awesome. This is the first fight in the movie, the first kind of like sequence that goes crazy, and then the bad guy, Satya, starts singing like a song. And I remember sort of being the only one to be like, I think that this might be a tough buy for the audience. Nobody like asked me to, but I remember when we were doing my single, just doing a bunch of reactions of like, what's going on? Like, someone explain this to me. I wasn't sure if Edgar was gonna be like, what are you talking about? And then he used a couple of those reaction shots, and that made me feel happy.
It's nice meeting you. Tell your gay friends I said bye.
Gay friend? Wallace! Again?
The crash zoom thing at the end of this, once Kieran has fully stolen my boyfriend by the end of this scene, we had to do that crash zoom so many times because Edgar's so hyper specific. He doesn't even let you blink. He doesn't let you blink. There would be specific times where he was like, oh, like a purposefully timed blink here would be okay. This was very generous of him. He wanted me to turn, react, then the crash zoom happens, then I say the line or something like that. Bill Pope, the cinematographer, ended up taking over just even operating the camera and the crash zoom. And I could see like every time we would kind of overcompensate for the other where we had like missed the moment perfectly. And it just took forever. To this day with Edgar, I'm like, I do my own crash zooms. So the joke is that like, if you need to do a crash zoom on me, I'll just like get myself really close to the camera. People don't like that. The director, Jason Moore, and I, everywhere we filmed, if we saw a cup, we would just steal it. We had this like weird collection to like try out once we got to this stage. We don't know what the surface of the stage is really gonna sound like. Then we had to justify that the cup was there. So yeah, someone came up with the pencils and pens thing. I did think it was funny to just like dump it out in front of them. It feels very much like when a cat like is testing you and is like, what if I knocked this over? What would you do?
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Oh, you're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, I know you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
I had to sing something to prove that I could do it. And I was like, oh, well, I know this thing because I'm a dork and I learned to do this thing with a cup and there's this song. And they were like, oh, let's put that in the movie. The audition song was supposed to be I'm a Little Teacup, which to this day, I've never asked the writer, Kay Cannon, like, how was that supposed to play? Like, was it supposed to just be like a really good rendition of I'm a Little Teacup? Because I don't think I would have been able to pull that off.
When I'm gone. When I'm gone.
I had no idea that this moment would become what it became. When Universal was like, we should make a whole music video for this, I was like, what? Who would want that? Egg on my face. Now, when I watch it, I can see I'm like rushing the back half of the phrase each time. I'm being nitpicky, but it wasn't until I had to record the song like so that Universal could release it as a single, which again, at the time I was like, who's gonna want that? The music supervisor was like, I'm gonna put a metronome in there so that you stop rushing it. Because I think you do get nervous and you're trying to just like do it really quickly. It's like a weird nails on chalkboard thing for me to watch this a little bit.
Lounging in their
Oh my God.
caftans and planning a brunch on their own behalf.
Okay, wait, can I stop? I haven't even come on screen yet and I'm freaking out. This is great. I really want to be here doing this. This is awesome. No, roll it. I can do it.
I knew you'd be discussing stopping the show, and I just thought how disappointed all the kids would be.
You scheming little bitch.
Please, I'm a child.
What is my voice even?
Save the speech, rummy. She's fucked, I'm ready, and the goddamn show must go on.
I think I'm 16 or 17 here. This is horrifying. Let's continue. I'm supposed to be dressed up as a middle-aged woman in this scene, and I still look like I'm 12 years old.
They get depressed, it's a bottle of scotch, plus a little jest.
This was my first movie. This was a non-union film. I got paid $75 a day, and only on the days that I was acting. Everybody in this movie went and lived in that camp, basically. We were all just up there, and there was no cell service, no Wi-Fi. I mean, basically the fact that we had running water was a miracle. So it wasn't the glamorous money-making prospect that I hoped my first movie would be.
Another chance to disapprove.
Oh, hey, that was some nice vibrato. Okay.
Another reason not to move. Another vodka stinger.
That was the first time I was introduced to the idea of sugar glass, but it would still like get into my skin a little bit. It would like tiny little, almost like paper cuts, not as bad as paper cuts. Each take I'd get little tiny bits of it in, and there'd be kind of like just little dots of blood, wounds, whatever. And they kept being like, oh, well, let's go take care of you and let's, get first aid or whatever. And I remember being like, no, I'm fine, and feeling like such a fucking hero for being like, I can continue, everyone. Oh my God. I was 16. What do you want?
Let's hear it for the ladies who lunch. Everybody rise.
The hard part of coming from theater was that we'd finish a take and I would be like, was that good? It was very weird to not have that immediate feedback and to just like look at one guy, the director, and be like, so was that good? And he was like, yeah, we can move on. And that's all you get. So like adjusting to that was tricky. I think I was pretty in my head about how it was going. But I do remember this day actually was the first time that I was like, oh, I think it's going good. The director used the phrase lightning in a bottle, which I was like, I don't know what that means yet, but I think it's good. Yeah, like our tiny little weird movie that we were making, it was like, well, we do like the scene where the insane 12-year-old poisons a girl and sings Sondheim. Nailed it.
When we were 5, they asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up. Our answers were things like astronaut, president, or in my case, a princess. But now that we've grown up, they want a serious answer. Well, how about this? Who the hell knows?
Can I just say, I've said this before, but I am just okay in this scene, at best. After we finished filming this scene, the producers were like, oh, we thought you were gonna do that thing you do, because in New Moon, I'm like rambling as we're exiting a movie theater, and I ended up like going on this tangent about zombie movies and stuff that wasn't scripted. They kept it all in, and then they gave me this speech, and they were like, oh, we thought you were just gonna like do whatever with it, but I thought that because it was like a speech that I should just stick to the script.
This isn't the time to make hard and fast decisions. This is the time to make mistakes. Take the wrong train and get stuck somewhere. Fall in love. A lot. Major in philosophy because there's no way to make a career out of that.
I mostly remember being like, oh, okay, like the scene went okay, like I don't know, maybe they'll cut it, I don't know. And then seeing it in the movie theater, it really was like one of those things where you have a better understanding of like the role that editing plays, because every time they cut to Kristen, she is so good and she is being so moved by what I'm saying. I can't even remember if I was doing this off camera or if they like shot this on a different day or something. Like either is possible. But like, yeah, you do a little push in on Kristen and suddenly you're like, wow, this speech is amazing, because she thinks the speech is amazing. I'm doing the bare minimum. I don't know what I'm doing. It's very mid, honestly. Cut to her and you're like, I don't know, maybe Jessica's onto something here. So thanks, Kristen.
I can't.
What?
I can't do another thing wrong. I can't do another thing wrong.
This was actually kind of the line and the moment where I knew, oh, I want to do this movie. When she starts having the panic attack and is saying, you don't understand, I can't do another thing wrong. Because that resonated with me so much. It just like cuts to the heart of being in that kind of relationship. When you get into that like regressed, panicked state, like those kind of simple sentences come out and you're like, oh, this is really messed up. I remember that white sweater that I'm wearing. They kept trying to like clean it off in between takes from the sand. And I remember at a certain point just going like, I can't. And that was kind of all I needed to say for everybody to just know like, you know what, it's fine if there's sand on the sweater. Because everybody on set kind of understood the material and what that kind of experience is like. Something just as small as kind of like starting half a sentence and like my body language shifting was enough to be like, you know what, let's prioritize just like giving the performer some space. That kind of like ease of communication really helped me on this movie.
Alice, what does that even mean?
No, I lied to him. He doesn't even know that I'm here.
What?
I mean, he does now. He called.
Well, why did you lie to him?
Because I'm bad.
My scene partner in that Gañadillo was like so amazing. I was really obsessed with her. She's very like her character in the movie. She's like such a badass, and I'm very drawn to like tall, stoic women. So I think I followed her around set like a baby bird most of the movie. My goal every day was to make her laugh, because getting a laugh out of Gañadillo was like hard to earn. It's like when a cat crawls into your lap and you're like, nobody move. That was a hard day, but it was also fun because I had a great scene partner and I like was totally in love with her. Is that weird?
You wouldn't love me if you knew how bad I am.
Jesus, is that something that he tells you?
We bonded really quickly, I think, because we knew that the material was really challenging emotionally. And, you know, it's just one of those things where you're like, well, we could get to know each other slowly, or we could just like rip the Band-Aid off and be like, hey, here's everything that's ever happened to me. And I know that I actually have a bad habit of doing that. I call it like a classic Kendrick overshare, because every situation that I leave, I'm like, Anna, why did you say that? Like constantly telling secrets and gossip about my own life to people. Well, that was fun and hurt my heart, and I'm gonna devote a session of therapy to that. I hope you all enjoyed looking at my weird baby face for that long.